Thanks, Theodora. Up next, we have Benny. Benny, go ahead, please.
I thank so much, Theodora. What about, I know about putting it to your head. What about just holding it in your hand?
Mhm.
Is there a problem just holding it in your hand, the cell phone?
Well, that's a very good question. And there's research that has shown changes in the blood from exposure. Why do we think that if it's in your hand, it won't affect our body when our blood is flowing through our body, when our tissue is, there's scientists are saying use corded connections. So if you use a corded phone like this, I don't know, unplug the internet. My phone is all the way over there. I can't grab it, but just a regular corded phone will not have emissions. So we recommend reducing exposure to as much as possible, actually.
Thanks, Theodora. Up next, we have David. David, we are looking forward to your question.
Hi, Theodora. Very good presentation, and thank you. Definitely has woke me up over the last couple of years that I've heard you on these conferences. But I don't know if I have a question, more of a comment. I almost feel helpless in the sense of I have 4 young kids, and technology keeps moving forward, and we embrace technology, but I just don't see a way personally that I can prevent all of this, advancement in the sense of I see the towers coming up. I live in Michigan. I see the automotive industry. They're putting 5G into every single vehicle. And, I have wireless in my own home. Even if I was to get rid of wireless, my neighbors have wireless. And, everywhere we go, we have wireless in the schools. And it just seems like a losing battle with technology moving forward. I guess what can we do as, I know you mentioned to get involved with, politics, but I'm just a normal, human, or in the sense of like parent. I don't have those types of resources nor the time, and I can't run away from technology. So do you have some simple solutions other than, trying to change inside of our house that we can, implement?
Do you mean other than in your house, or do you want to know in your house?
I mean, I guess I want some reasonable solutions other than, what can we do out, even in my own house, I have a battle with that because I have old iPhones, and my kids, grab them and watch YouTube on them, and they're wireless. And it's like, if I take them away, they're going to fight me over that. And I'm sure your kids give you the same battles. So, I just I just feel like I'm fighting a losing battle here.
I think it can be overwhelming, the technology, but I have to say change is happening. I mean, in many countries, Wi-Fi is being banned in kindergarten and removed from classrooms. There are many schools around the world where they're removing Wi-Fi and putting in corded connections. So I guess I would say take one step. Start on the journey with, one step that you can take that's sort of simple, like at night, turn off the wireless. And I know kids, I mean, my daughter I have all these blocks. I should have brought one, wooden blocks, decorated like a phone, because of course, mommy's on the phone, child's on the phone. And now I have teenagers, and I am not standing here as someone who's a perfect mom or has a perfect world or has solved this problem perfectly in my own home. But I do know that change is happening. In France, they just passed a law where, actually it was now 2 years, where when you buy a phone, it says, keep off the abdomens of teenagers and keep away from pregnant women's abdomens. So it happens, but it's only going to happen if we really start talking about this. And I know we're all busy and have, working in between kids. It is very hard to get organized on this issue. But I think that everyone can find something to do, something in your own home. And I imagine you're connected with the other folks in Michigan. There are a lot of people in Michigan working on this. You don't have to be into politics to get involved. Our representatives are supposed to be accountable to us. And even if you just set one meeting and tell people what you think, we're there to represent you, make the changes in your home. I'm actually inspired by what's happening around the world. The New Hampshire Commission, that was an expert report by several experts, and things are happening. So I understand that feeling, but I always say many hands make light work, and it's happening around the world and around the United States. And we're doing it for our kids, so it's happening. And thank you for continuing to get educated on this issue.
Thank you, Theodora. And up next, we have Gregory. Gregory, looking forward to your question.
Hi, thanks for your presentation. I really enjoyed it. I guess like the previous gentleman, kind of feel overwhelmed with all of the areas of exposure. And I guess I wanted to know what would be maybe a top 3 solutions that we could start, to get the most bang for our buck, because it seems like it's so many areas. And then I guess the second question is, I'm kind of new to this information. How do I guess, continue to sell it to myself? Where do I go? What resources do you have? And then how do I sell it to others, my family? How do, because it's a tough sell, because there's so much that we, so many areas where we use Wi-Fi. And
It is a tough sell. Yeah. I'm going to give you the top 3. I'm putting in the chat a link to how to reduce cell phone radiation on our website at Environmental Health Trust. And that is a good page to start off with resources. I also am going to put in the chat, just so you have it, some facts about cell phones that I'm putting in the the chat as well. So the first thing is, don't put the phone to your head anymore. Don't carry it on your body when it's powered on. Try to have it away from your body. When you go somewhere, if you have to have a phone, many people don't have any other way to even communicate. You don't have a corded phone at home. You haven't set that up yet. And frankly, it costs money to do that. So there's this whole issue of affordability involved. But put the phone on the table, away from you, on speaker. Don't use it for things that aren't as important. Minimize your use. And then I guess so learn how to reduce exposure to your phone. At night, whatever you can turn it off. Or whatever you can move into another room, move it into the other room. And don't use your phone while it's charging. So I would sort of start with the devices that you use every day and keeping a distance from your body. That's where I would start, and there has been, I'm not sure if I clarified this as clearly, but there was no pre-market safety testing for cell phones when it first came on the market. There's no post-market surveillance, and there's no US government entity that has a funded mandate to be reviewing all the science, staying up to date, and looking at what level is safe. That's just the reality. So we also have, I'm going to put in the chat, and if you're watching this later, go to our website at Environmental Health Trust, where we have a tab called Resources. And under that, we have printable resources. And I'm going to put that in the chat so you can see a lot of downloadable resources. We have one-pagers. I didn't bring any with me today. I had it from before, but we have little one sheets you can download and learn more about this issue with simple tips. It is easy to get started on this. Sorry if I overwhelm folks. I mean, I understand this is a big one, and it's so important that I've dedicated, and many scientists have dedicated their lives to this over the last few decades. But it's actually simple to get started and reduce exposure to your cell phone.